Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel where we delve into the profound teachings of Buddhism. Today we're embarking on a very special text from Now is the Knowing, discussing the three refuges in Buddhism: Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. When someone asks, what do you have to do to become a Buddhist? The answer often begins with the act of taking refuge. But what does this really mean? Let's dive in. The phrase, Buddham Saranam Gacchami, translates to, I go to the Buddha for refuge. Now you might wonder, isn't that just a phrase? What's the deeper significance? The word Buddha itself means the one who knows. When we say we take refuge in the Buddha, we're not just reciting a mantra or a chant. It's not about worshiping a historical figure or a deity, but about embodying the wisdom that the Buddha represents. This wisdom isn't something external or abstract. It's about recognizing that there is a part of our consciousness, an inner wisdom, that can guide us through life's challenges. This is what we mean by Buddha wisdom. It's the wisdom that's inherent in the universe, in our very minds, which isn't separate from us but is more real than anything we can perceive through our senses or conceive with our minds. Let's take a moment to reflect on this. When we chant Buddham Saranam Gacchami, we're reminding ourselves to awaken, to be alert, to be wise in our daily lives. It's about turning inward, not just repeating words. This wisdom, this knowing, is what protects us, not medallions or amulets, but the understanding and insight into the nature of existence. Now many might question, how does one practice this? In Thai forest traditions, monks use Buddho as a meditation object. They focus on this word, which essentially means the one who knows, to calm and investigate the mind. The practice isn't just about calming the mind, but about deeply exploring what this knowing is, where it comes from, and how it manifests in our consciousness. This practice of contemplation helps us to not just mechanically repeat, but to awaken the mind, to really look into the essence of Buddho. It's about observing the mind, understanding its patterns, and ultimately, hearing the silence beyond the sound. So when we talk about taking refuge in Buddha, we're talking about a sanctuary of wisdom, a place where we can return to when the world outside becomes overwhelming or confusing. This refuge isn't a physical place, but a state of mind, a state of being where we are fully awake and aware. Now let's continue our journey into the remaining two refuges, Dhamma and Sangha. Dhamma, the ultimate truth. Dhamma, or Dharma in Sanskrit, is often translated as truth, or the way things really are. When we chant Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, we are not taking refuge in a belief or a doctrine, but in reality itself. Here are some key aspects of Dhamma as described in the text. Sanditiko. Dhamma is immanent, here and now. It's not something you have to find elsewhere. It's immediately present in our experience. Akaliko. Timeless. Dhamma isn't bound by the constraints of time. Our conceptual mind struggles with this because our thoughts are time-bound. But Dhamma exists beyond these limitations. Ehipassiko. This means come and see. Dhamma invites us to turn towards it, to investigate and experience it directly. It's not about waiting for something to happen. We must actively seek it. Opanayiko. It leads inward, towards the peace within our minds. Unlike paths that might lead us outward into distractions, Dhamma guides us to inner calm. Pakatam veditabo vinyuhi. Known through direct experience. Just like tasting honey, Dhamma must be experienced personally to be truly understood. Taking refuge in Dhamma isn't about intellectual understanding or belief in a system. It's about living in accordance with the truth, being that truth in the present moment. This refuge calls for an immediate awakening, for being wise now, not in some future time. Sangha, the community of virtue. Lastly, we take refuge in Sangha, which means community or group. Here we're talking about Bhikkhu Sangha, the order of monks and nuns. Arya Sangha, the community of noble ones, those who live virtuously. When we chant Sangam Saranam Gacchami, we're taking refuge in virtue, in what is good, kind, compassionate, and generous. This isn't about idolizing people, but recognizing and supporting the goodness within ourselves and others. The refuge in Sangha is practical for daily life, encouraging us to act with virtue, to do good and refrain from evil with our actions and speech. Live mindfully. By being aware, we see that selfish or cruel actions only lead to our own suffering. This refuge teaches us to forgive, let go of past grievances, and live in harmony with others. It's about taking responsibility for our life, not blaming others for our conditions. In conclusion, taking refuge in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha isn't about blind faith, but about using these symbols as tools for mindfulness, for awakening our minds here and now. In your practice, reflect on these refuges. How can they guide you to live more fully in the present, with wisdom, truth, and compassion? Remember, these refuges are not external entities, but aspects of your own being that you can cultivate and embody. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of the 3 refuges. If you found this insightful, please like, comment, and subscribe for more content on Buddhist teachings. Until next time, may you find peace and clarity in the wisdom of the Buddha, the truth of the Dhamma, and the virtue of the Sangha.